Well, good morning, Facebook family. It is Tuesday, February the 16th. I'm Marshalla coming to you live with morning encouragements. I have, it's interesting. The topic for today is Philippians chapter 4, verse 11. So I can't come to you with a sour face because I get to be content whatever state that I find myself in. And though this is my favorite life verse, it has a different angle today. So it's not a repeat from a few days ago. Before I talk about the verse today, I want to review yesterday's message about why are we here? What's our life purpose? And what can we do now to apply the words that we're hearing and seeing and learning and studying? What can we do every day while we're here on earth? Kudos. That was encouraging for me. So I hope it was encouraging for you as well. Now, confession time. I posted a couple of videos. Oh, wait, no, before I talk about the videos, I also posted Dr. Tony Evans talking about the same thing that our subject was on yesterday. And I love how God just, everything matches like this, like a puzzle in life, because he's sovereign and he's timeless. So that's why I was excited to post Dr. Tony Evans' message. And maybe that can be a nugget for you as well. But each of us are on different paths in life, so everything might affect us or impact us differently. I'm just sharing. Now, I posted videos from the Bible Project, and it's kind of a theme and a clue. When I first, if you know me, you know I like order. You know I like structure. And if it's a book series, I can't do book 5 or out of order. I have to do like the Chronicles of Narnia. I didn't like the new way they arranged it. I like the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I like things precisely in order. Like there's no way I would watch the Wonder Woman 1984 without watching the previous Wonder Woman. You have to do things in order. Same thing with the Marvel series. I said all that to say, when I was at Georgia State and purchased my first Bible, when I got saved, I went and started at the beginning, Genesis, and very quickly was lost, not knowing. So I'm just putting it out there that you don't have to read it from cover to cover, front to back, but there are different sections and different things that you can read and be blessed no matter what order you do it in, John or Romans, Luke. And you don't have to do, or you could start with the Psalms and Proverbs. So, but I did post the Bible Project. There is a whole website, a ministry that has done the Bible in different sections, and it's a quick overview and a summary. So in case you haven't read it in a long time, or if you didn't quite get, let's say, the book of Revelation, they take the time to do an overview of the parts and the meanings and just a narrative of what the message is in a global area view of what it's about. So I posted a couple to get you going. If you wanted to do, you have to go reverse order. But there are 2 parts of Genesis and Exodus. And if you go to that website, you can have your options to look at any books. And I'll attempt to post a few more just to make life a little easier for us. And or if you're driving in the car, no, you don't want to do it while you're driving because you have to keep your eyes on the road. But in illustrated time, if you need a change of pace from Hell's Kitchen or Jeopardy, then I would suggest or propose taking a look at, just to get a summary of what some of these books are talking about, Luke and the theme, or how they were written. Just FYI, so not an opening verse, but opening website. The Bible Project. You can look at some animated and summaries of the contents from Old and New Testament. Okay? Now, today we are talking, my page keeps flipping. We are talking about Philippians chapter 4. I have learned to be content, whatever the circumstances. That's so me. This speaks to me. Let me read what we can learn today. These words show us that contentment is not a natural propensity of man. Bad weeds grow in haste. Covetousness, discontent, and murmuring are as natural to man as thorns are to the soil. We need it so thistles and brambles, they come up naturally enough because they're indigenous to earth. And so we need to teach men to complain. They complain fast enough without any education. I find this to be true. Unfortunately for us and kids, we naturally grumble and complain. We can have ice cream one moment and then complain about wanting a treat the next, or we'll have one toy and want another toy, and we're not content, and we grumble and complain. Which means we need to be careful not to judge or criticize the children of Israel about, we can look at this and say, well, God just rescued you from Pharaoh. We have to be careful because that's in us naturally. The precious things of the earth must be cultivated. And note, when the first sentence it said that Paul said, I had to learn to be content. Let me keep going. The precious things of the earth must be cultivated. If we would have wheat, we must plow and sow. If we want flowers, there must be the garden and all the gardener's care. Now, contentment is one of the flowers of heaven. And if we would have it, it must be cultivated. It will not grow in us by nature. It is the new nature alone that can produce it. And even then, we must be especially careful to watch that we maintain and cultivate the grace which God has sown in us. Paul says, I have learned to be content, as much as to say he didn't know how at one time. It cost him some pains to attain to the mystery of that great truth. No doubt, he sometimes thought he had learned and then broke down. And when at last he had attained to it and could say, I have learned to be content, whatever the circumstances, he was an old gray-haired man upon the borders of the grave, a poor prisoner shut up in Nero's dungeon at Rome. We might well be willing to endure Paul's infirmities and share the cold dungeon with him if we too might by any means attain to his good measure. Don't indulge the notion that you can be contented without learning or learn without discipline. It is not a power that may be exercised naturally, but a science to be acquired gradually. We know this from experience. Brother and sister, me and you, hush that complaint, as natural as it is, and continue as a diligent scholar in the college of content. Ooh. So literally, that's our encouragement right there. Brother and sister, that's you and I, hush that complaint. As natural and easy as we can complain, or easily as it comes to us, and continue as a diligent scholar in the college of contentment. So we even, not only for ourselves and our well-being and our mindset and our mental state, not to complain. We want to go up, not down. We want to focus up. We want to focus on the positive. We want to embrace the positive, not the complaints, not the negative. Remember, we don't want to focus on that. Not only that, also, what example are we setting for those around us? Not saying we have the fear of man, but if we have such great salvation and if we profess faith, then what are we grumbling about? Can we be calm and kind about the grumbling? Can we be calm and not murmur, not be discontent, or not yearn for or covet other things? But what do we have? Can we be content with what we have? And I could actually, true confession, that wasn't supposed to come out. I hadn't thought about talking about that today, but my dad came to check on me last night because I turned in early. And I turned in early because, and early for me was 9 o'clock. It wasn't 10 because I usually am working through almost 11 and beyond, trying to scan papers and get things done because I've got a dual track trying to do the caretaker, the meals, the dressing, the bathing, the pills, the grooming, as well as get paperwork for trying to find a facility for my mother. But anyway, she decided to move her location and sit in the area where I had my laptop. And she closed the lid, and there was a pin in it, and so my screen is broken. And so my dad checked on me to say everything happens for a reason, and that I was shut down. My day ended yesterday. And even with that, it's a reminder that this stuff is going to get done, and I don't need to be even as anxious and driven about it, but to go in God's timing and just take it smoothly. We are getting confirmation for an event for Mom this week. So thank you for your prayers. Thank you for just continue praying for us that God would order our steps and that He would keep me in perfect peace. That I won't allow myself to get run down and overdo it. I had the joy yesterday of seeing Barbara Ann and Don just for a quick minute yesterday, right before the rains came, and that was such a delight. I haven't been able to see them in so long. Actually, I've seen them twice in the last 3 months. That's more than I've seen a lot of people. But thank you guys. Love you. Blessings to you for catching me and coming to my rescue in distress yesterday. I am going to say in this cold weather season we're having in the 20s, upper 20s right now, for you and yours, make sure you're safe and healthy and warm and comfortable. Take great care. If you have to go out, do your masking and your social distancing and be mindful of your hands and just who you're in contact with as best as possible through the pandemic that we're still in. If you, and as you go out, when you are out, let's be careful and consider the things that we talked about today and how we can apply those for ourselves and the example that we're setting and the people we're trying to minister to all around us. That, things go wrong. Things can be problematic and we can have trials and problems. Oops. I don't say problems, I say trials and opportunities for God to minister and or bless and teach us and stretch us in these situations. For even in this laptop, that's a inconvenience right now till I get that fixed. God is still in control and He's going to move it forward. So I'm thankful for that. I am going to bring another message tomorrow morning at 11:30 a.m., Lord willing. In the meantime, make sure you make this a terrific Tuesday for you and yours and be safe out there. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye for now.